Ugogbe, Queen of the River, Part 1. In the heart of Alaoma village, where the red earth glowed beneath the blazing sun, and the mighty river Omirima sang day and night, tales of a mystical queen had been passed down through generations. Her name was Ugogbe, the radiant spirit said to guard the waters, the forests, and the destinies of those who lived by the riverbanks. The elders said her beauty was more dazzling than the moonlight on still water. They said her laughter could calm storms, but her anger could swallow villages whole. Some called her a blessing. Others whispered that she was a curse wrapped in silk. But one truth remained: no one who disrespected the river ever went unpunished. This was not just a folktale. It was a warning, a thread of fate winding through the lives of every man, woman, and child in Alaoma. And it was in this very village that Ugogbe's story began to unravel once more, dragging the living into the unseen world of spirits and secrets. Chapter 1. The Omen at Dawn. The cock crowed before the sun cracked open the horizon. Villagers stretched, fires were rekindled, and the smell of roasted yam filled the air. But at the edge of the river, something stirred. Ngozi, a young maiden known for her curious spirit, had gone early to fetch water. She dipped her calabash into the flowing stream, humming softly, when suddenly the water went still. The river, which always roared with restless energy, fell silent as if holding its breath. Ngozi frowned. What is this? Then she saw it. A glimmer beneath the water. Not fish, not sunlight. It was a pair of eyes, glowing like burning emeralds, staring straight at her from below. Her calabash slipped from her hand and cracked against the rocks. The silence broke into a hiss of water swirling, then the surface rippled with laughter. A soft, feminine voice floated up. "Child of dust, you should not be here so early." Ngozi staggered back, trembling, but she could not run. Her legs felt rooted to the earth. The voice was sweet, almost like a song, but heavy with hidden power. From the water rose the faint outline of a woman, her hair flowing like currents, her wrapper made of shimmering waves. It was Ugogbe, Queen of the River. "Go back," she whispered, her eyes glowing brighter. "Tell your people that the river remembers." And just like that, she vanished. Ngozi's screams tore through the morning air, summoning half the village. Elders, mothers, children, they all gathered, demanding to know what had happened. But as she tried to explain, some shook their heads, others murmured in fear. And one man, Chief Obinma, the village head, grew pale at her words, for he knew this was the sign they had long dreaded. Chapter 2. The Elder's Warning. By midday, the villagers assembled beneath the great Iroko tree in the village square. Drums were silent, goats tied away, and every face carried the weight of uncertainty. Elder Chukwuama, whose beard was as white as cotton, raised his staff and spoke. "Children of Alaoma, listen well. The river has spoken. Ugogbe, the queen of the river, does not appear without reason.
The village fell
Something is
silent in
coming.
the aftermath.
Something tied
Even the
to
crickets
us.
seemed to hush, as if the night itself were holding its breath. Ngozi's legs trembled beneath her, and she could barely stand. The elders rushed to her side, but no words could soothe the chill that clung to her bones. Elder Chukuma knelt beside her, placing a gnarled hand on her shoulder. "Show me your arm, child," he commanded softly. Ngozi obeyed, trembling. On her forearm, faint yet unmistakable, was a swirl of emerald light, the mark of remembrance. It pulsed faintly, as if it had a heartbeat of its own. The villagers gasped. None had seen this mark in a living soul for generations. This is the covenant," whispered Chukuma. "It binds the chosen to the river's will. If she is the one, the river's judgment will follow her every step until the debt is repaid." The villagers murmured among themselves, fear and awe mingling. Mothers clutched their children, some crossed themselves, others prayed aloud. Yet a few young men exchanged glances, skeptical and frightened, their doubts hanging in the air like a second shadow. Ngozi's mind raced. I don't understand. What debt? What covenant?" Chukuma's eyes darkened. "Long ago, our ancestors made offerings to Omarima River. They promised respect, harvest, and honor. But greed and neglect eroded that bond. The river does not forget, child, and now it calls upon you." Chapter 5. The Night Watch. The villagers decided that Ngozi must stay under the elder's protection until the dawn, for fear that Ugogbe's spirit might appear again. A small group of men built a fire by her hut, chanting protective incantations they had learned from their fathers. But Ngozi could not sleep. Every rustle in the reeds sounded like footsteps. Every ripple in the river mirrored the glowing eyes she had seen earlier. At one point, she swore she heard laughter, soft, melodic, but cold, floating above the water. Then the shadows shifted. A ripple broke the surface, and two small fish leapt unnaturally high, landing near her feet. She recoiled, only to notice something strange. On each fish's back was a tiny swirl of emerald light, faintly glowing like the mark on her arm. Fear gripped her chest. "It's following me," she whispered, her voice barely audible. A sudden scream from the riverbank froze her in place. She turned to see a young man, one of the villagers assigned to the night watch, running toward her. His eyes were wide with terror.
They thought she was just a village girl. Until the queen of the river called her name.